Alright, have you heard about the Big Mac Index? Apparently it's one of the most accurate ways to determine how expensive a city or country is. Yes, I have heard about it. I read an article about it a long time ago. But that is something I was familiar with. I do think it's crazy that why is Enschede more expensive than Rotterdam? Like, Enschede is kind of a dump. Tiny little weird German city versus big metropolitan area Rotterdam. If anything, Rotterdam should be more expensive. So the article was interesting. But then the comments about how the government should forbid McDonald's was a little bit less interesting. Anyway, guys, it is finally back. I hope it's going to be as awesome as it was before. Masters Coliseum truly delivered last week, or the week before that, whenever it was. We had so much fun watching these games. We are now entering the playoffs. And we are starting off with a banger. It's Serral versus Clem. What did you guys end up settling for in the end? Yeah, it's a lot closer right now than it was before. Because obviously this is never 10-1. I do think Serral is a minor favorite. But I don't think he's the overwhelming favorite. Enschede have a lot of metal concerts. So people eat a lot of burgers. Could be. Jorik says Rotterdam sucks. How would Jorik know that Rotterdam sucks? The man has never left his basement. It's kind of crazy. Imagine me making statements about a place I've never gone to. That's wild, man.
Let's get it on.
Round 1, fight!
Here we go, guys. In the top left side of Babylon, we are looking at the main base of the only undefeated player in this tournament. He went 5-0 in best of threes. He went 10-0 in maps. This is BASILISK Serral. Is he once more gonna go on a rampage after a big international tournament doesn't really go his way? After IM Katowice, he lost in the quarterfinals, which is obviously perfectly fine for many other people. For Jona, it's not. After that, for basically 3 months straight, the man won everything. He lost in Game 8 in the quarterfinals. Is he again gonna win everything for 3 months straight? Well, we are about to find out. Not if this guy has something to say about it. A remarkable comeback yesterday in the grand finals of the weekly against an unleashed Max Pax. He was down 0-2, played 3 excellent games in a row to bring home the title. And one thing I didn't mention, guys, he is now only trailing Big Gabriel by 2 wins on the Monday night. I think that's even bigger than the Masters Coliseum, if I have to be completely honest. This is the one and only, the guy that everyone is talking about.
Liquid Clem.
There's no better way to ever use that intro than when it's Serral versus Clem. Serral has a gas going down, but it's a little bit later than what it could have been. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I'm just going to run to my coffee machine very quickly, grab my coffee, and we'll take it from there. Will it soon be called the Clem Open? Well, honestly, I don't think any of us thought it was ever possible. And I do remember doing an interview once with Clem. After Clem won like 4 or 5 in a row, I was like, so Clem, are you ever gonna catch Gabe? And then he was laughing. He's like, oh, I think that's gonna be a little bit hard now. Didn't Gabe win so many? And after that, there was even a small period where Gabe was winning even more, as Clem is opening up 3 racks, by the way, guys. What a spicy, cheeky way to open up this best of 5. So Clem was laughing about it back then. He didn't think it was possible. Well, right now the man is at 55. How many Monday Cup wins does Max Pax have? He's number 3 in the all-time standings. I think Max Pax is at 27 or so. So very good, but obviously nowhere near the 55 of Clem and the 57 of Big Gabriel. Guys, this Overlord Scout could obviously be very big. Serral is going for that 2-base lair opening that I've seen him do a few times on Babylon. To me, this stuff is a little bit odd, but obviously Jona is Jona. He knows what he's doing, and if this is how he likes to play his roach builds, it is what it is. But if he does not send this in, like obviously these guys are world class. And Serral will just know by maybe not seeing Hellions on a certain moment that this is not Hellions. So maybe Serral kind of can suspect that something is a little bit off. This can still get very, very, very scary. No, we don't count. If we count NA, Clem has already won more than Gabe, but I don't count NA. NA is this weird hyping, video gaming, whatever, cross server. Obviously it matters, but I don't count it because I never cover it. I did it a few times, but I just feel that the hype and the passion is a bit lower for the American one. people playing from Europe at like 5:30 a.m. I just like keeping track of the European numbers. So the Reaper has given its life, guys. Serral knows exactly what is up. Serral is gonna morph his Overlord into an Overseer, and this is the first time that he is going to see that this wasn't totally normal. Sees the additional barracks in the back, sees all these Marines. I wonder if that would scare him initially, but he did make a few safety roaches, so maybe he's not all that worried yet. Zedek with the 22 months. My 2011 friend, guys. 2010? No. 2011, 2012. Ich hoffe, alles ist gut, mein Freund. The mystery man, guys. Still around. I see that you stream quite a bit in the German Discord. I'm not very active in the German Discord, but I do see you play some games. We have 24 Marines, only 8 roaches. Honestly, this is actually a little bit scary. Even after Serral got the scout. But of course, there are no medevacs here. So without medevacs, every stim does really hurt. But Clem is still going to go for it. He says, hey, Yona, the guy with the gun, is pretty good. And he's getting a decent amount of roaches. But I think eventually the Marines will run out of steam. Of course, there is no medevac support. So the stims, they truly hurt. How do we feel about that? A queen, 5 roaches, and an overlord for 10 Marines. Feel free to shout at me, chat. I don't feel ultra strong about it. I'm kind of indifferent. It's like 3.6 Röntgen, you know? Not great, not terrible. Looks tough, it's fine. Seems that you guys are not quite on the same page either. I think I'm kind of okay with it on Clem's side. I think maybe he hoped for a little bit more, but obviously the Overlord scout was big. Ooh, this can get scary. If that keeps on happening, obviously that would be a problem. It's not that Yona has an absolutely insane economy, right? The 1-1 upgrades are on the way. I think it's very playable for Clem. Maybe he hoped for a little bit more, but I think it's fine. Rainer says, the start is good for Yona. Well, if Rainer says that it's good for Yona, I'm not going to disagree with Rainer. But then again, Rainer is also the absolute god of having bad predictions in my channel. Slightly better than Cuckoo, but still pretty terrible. So if Rainer says it's a good start for Yona, let's just assume that Clem is going to win game 1, guys. It's a lot of roaches, guys, with tunneling claws and burrow as the follow-up. That's obviously very cool. I wonder if Clem is going to be ready for this. If you don't have any missile turrets and these roaches, they pop up everywhere, then obviously Clem is indeed going to be in a little bit of trouble. I still don't really hate it for Clem, but that's just because I believe in the guy with the gun a lot more than I believe in roaches. But of course, if Yona is able to sneak in, this is actually could be a scout, guys. If you right now, oh, he misses it. So unlucky. If right now you already see 3 roaches by themselves, I think that can make the alarm bells go off. That this could very well be tunneling claws. We're gonna have a little roach drop in the main base as well. This is all very cool. I think this should make the alarm bells go off too. Why is there a single roach all by itself? So both of them are gonna try to harass one another. We're gonna try each other's speed, guys. Who's more sharp? Who's quicker? Not a single missile turret is here. I feel like this is better for Yona than it's going to be for Clem. Serral has an overwhelming amount of numbers. Here come the roaches. The missile turret is a tiny bit late. A roach drop in the main. Clement, we paying attention, my friend? Roach drop in the main. Roaches in the natural. It's not too bad yet. Oh, that tank. Hey, Yona made a little mistake there, guys. The roach is on move command. Whew, could have done a little bit more than what he actually ended up doing. I don't hate it for Clem, guys. Now, obviously, he knows. He still needs to survive this part, but he's got missile turrets and he's getting a couple of very big tank shots off. Serral was a little bit late with the on-burrow there. Can Clem save that tank? I think he can. He loses the tank on the high ground, but he saves the one in the third. Roaches in the main base have been cleaned up. I still like it for Clem. And since Rainer is hitting us with the I think Rainer is starting to get on board of the Clem hype train over here. Yona looked not off there, guys, but it kind of felt that it was a little bit slower than what it could have been. And if you want to get the best of a Liquid Plum who's wide awake and is sharp, we're going to have to really step it up in the speed department. This obviously looks promising. It's a lot of units for Serral. A couple of those moves, they were a tiny bit derpy. Rainer's letting us know that he felt there were a couple of mistakes on this side of Serral. And that the late hive, still a 9-minute hive by the way. That's obviously late compared to some of the other hives we've seen. But it looks quite promising. There is a lot of creep though. And of course Clem's supply block by the way. Can we use the Terran get out of jail free card? Or do we need scans? Because this is a pretty it was a pretty gnarly supply block. I think we used the Terran get out of jail free card somewhere. Where is it? In the back. What a race, guys. What a race. This is a lot of Marines. Uh-oh. Oh, Yona. This is one hell of a drop, guys. And the Evo chambers are in the main base. The infestation pit is here. And the hive is here. And the Hydra den is here. Serral out of position. And this is not a couple of Marines. This is a crap ton of Marines. Clem storming this base like it's Normandy. And this is a disaster for Yona. I don't think he's ever going to be able to do the same amount of damage on the other side of the map. The guy with the gun is pretty good. Serral is trying to find a bit of damage, but that's a dead hive, my friends. And Serral is still not cleaning this up. He's got a lot of supply. He is going to get the tanks. Yeah, that's cute and all, but I feel like you need a whole lot more because this is so much bio. There are 23 roaches in production, but they're going to spawn from different angles. Minus 2 bases, maybe even minus a roach warren or an infestation pit. As Clem throws down a scan, I really think that Clem has game 1 in the bag. He's going to get the infestation pit. He might actually get the Evo chambers. +2 is denied.
Denied.
+2 armor is going to finish up, by the way, by 1 or 2 seconds. But no +2 missile attacks. Serral needs to start dropping some creep here, by the way. I mean, the game might be Omega over already, but that's obviously not very fun to say that. So let's just pretend that it's not Omega over. And that Zerg can actually make good comebacks against Terran. If that is the case, Serral needs to send an Overlord here or retake the base. I think he's everyone's favorite Claymore. The Extractor is going to get picked off. Roaches are trying to do that thing. Maybe a Corrosive Owl gets some medevac. Unfortunately, that did not happen. It just kind of feels that there is absolutely nothing that Serral can do here. Other than, yeah, I guess build Lurkers without any upgrades. You can build Roaches, 1-2 Hydras, and 1-2 Lurkers without any upgrades. I actually believe that some people would almost qualify this game as a bit of the copium. Or hopium. But Yona's gonna try. Don't forget that he hasn't dropped a single map yet in this entire tournament. The man went 10-0 in an incredibly tough Group A with the likes of Showtime, Trigger, Gumio, Maru, and Maxpax. Oh, now even the Lurker then is gonna get picked off. The Hydra then, at least Groove Spine's finished up, but yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think Serral also knows that this doesn't really matter anymore. It doesn't happen often that you're maxed out and you just feel that there is absolutely no way you're gonna win a game. This is kind of one of these games. Super slow Lurkers are burrowing, but they're just not very intimidating. Serral still up in supply and is actually at least getting into the natural, but it really all feels very, very hopeless. The Terran army is just a whole lot better than the Zerg army, and it will continue to be a whole lot better. Of course, Serral does still need to be a tiny bit careful with those Lurkers. Gonna move the Lurkers actually forward in range of the tanks, and Serral takes a surprisingly good fight here. Clem maybe losing a little bit more than he's supposed to lose. He's also losing 19 SCVs. Yona is definitely battling, but I still think it takes a minor miracle to win this game. Because as a Zerg without Vipers, without Infestors, without high-tech upgrades, how are you gonna take good fights off creep running into a Terran? No, don't worry, Ayogu. Sometimes, guys, the supply does lie. It's just Yona can't do anything unless he rebuilds all of his production. The only thing he can currently build is Roaches, and if he has leftover Hydras too, he can morph those into Lurkers. But they are Lurkers without any of their upgrades. I think it's an unplayable game for Yona. But obviously he wouldn't be Yona if he's at least not going to make Clem work for it a little bit. More Overlord getting picked off though. Clem is now that guy from that Counter-Strike thingy a long time ago. I could dance all day, I could dance all day. Woo. His army is fast, his army is mobile. Yeah, poor Yona. He's gonna try one more time to run into these tanks. The tanks are definitely a little bit exposed, so a few of these tanks are gonna get picked off, and there is a single Lurker in the mix. Is this Ravagers, by the way, that are burrowed? I was like, those are not Lurkers. That doesn't look like Lurkers. And I think here you can really see how underwhelming this Zerg army is. It's a bit of a move commando by Clem. I feel like Clem is derping a tiny bit too, but has played a pretty amazing game. I can dance all day, I can dance all day. Woo. Clem on point here, guys, in game 1. And there were a few tiny brief moments where Serral looked a tiny bit slower than what we are used to. With roaches on... roaches burrowing here while tanks were wailing away at it. Roaches on move command in the main base. Look. A top tier Serral is a little bit sharper there. It's a little bit quicker. And if Clem is in shape, we're going to have to be a little bit quicker and a little bit sharper. There is indeed no concussive shells, but I never cared too much about it. Concussive is one of these things that only really matters if you go battling Stalker Enos. Serral obviously knows that it's absolutely pointless to stay in this game a little bit longer. GG gets called, and it's Liquid Claymore who takes the 1-0 lead and actually delivers the first map loss of the entire tournament to Yona. So Yona now 10-1 in this tournament. Was supply block there, by the way, guys, for 2 minutes 26 seconds. Obviously, that was a lot towards the end after he lost all the overlords, but still, I think a stat that is worth mentioning. Very good game by Clem and Yona. Things were maybe going alright at first, but when he tried to do the multi-prong, didn't quite get as much done as I think he was hoping for. And obviously Clem made a brilliant call when he just doom dropped that main base with 6-7 medevacs full of marines. That was very well done by Clem. Perfect call. Takes the 1-0 lead. That's, I think, still a very long time to go. Only the first game in a best of 5, so there is no need to picnic. And let's see what game 2 is all about. There is still no party, and I don't like it because I'm afraid that they might start without me. I think at least I'm friends with Clem. So Clem won, as Roddy predicted after Reina's messages. To be fair, I was also already predicting him to win just by my own opinion. It wasn't just to banter Reiner. It was also just because I thought it was looking alright for Clem. They are trying to set up a game. I assume that they are derping because of the party. I'm not in the party, which is nice because now nobody will ever think that I'm responsible for delaying the game, which I never am. But the not so nice thing is that everybody can go from being in the chat channel to the game, and if they start the game immediately, I'm gonna have a heart attack. No, I am not friends with Serral, I think, on Battle.net. At least I'm teammates, but I'm not friends. Is Clem from Texas? Yes, mate. This is a pretty epic battle between Claymore from Texas and Serral from Arkansas. We call it the Battle of the South. We can't wait. Every now and then Rainer comes in as well. He's representing Alabama. Hashtag Roll Tide Rainer. It's pretty sick, man. I don't know how all these great StarCraft 2 players were born in the South, but it's a thing. Roddy, of course, your favorite caster from Mississippi. This is what I do. Born and raised, baby. Flex, flex. I only wish... Yeah, we have Coco from Louisiana. That's obviously fantastic. I always love it when Lino stops by from Atlanta, Georgia. We're just representing over here, guys. We are just fucking representing. Thank you, Duke. Now, if you ask me, Roddy, where is Duke? Because I know that Duke has a very good college basketball team, right? Aren't they like the favorites every single year when they battle with the Connecticut Huskies? But where is Duke from? That I have absolutely no idea where Duke is from. I would guess northeast somewhere, but... Duke is... Oh, no, so I was completely wrong. Yeah, no, that I wouldn't have known. Yeah. North Carolina. Why are they good? I am always fascinated how certain states have like no presence in other sports, but then they have very good college teams, whether it's basketball or football. Alright guys, we are in game 2. It's going to be played on Dragon Skills. So we went from Babylon into Dragon Skills, and that almost makes me wonder if Serral pulled a Rainer and picked Babylon. Maybe Rainer can evaluate on that or can help me with this, but it feels that Dragon Skills is a Clem map choice, right? But obviously Babylon used to be a Terran map choice too. So I guess Serral went full Rainer and picked Babylon as map 1. And then Clem picked Dragon Skills as map 2. Fionn says Serral hates dragons, so yeah, I guess that's what it is. But surprising to me that Serral started off on Babylon.
Round 2. Fight!
Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who has just delivered the first loss of the entire tournament to his opponent. Played a great grand final yesterday. Can we continue on a high? The one and only.
Liquid Clem.
A liquid Clem. And in the top left side, the guy that everyone is talking about. I wonder if he was happy with Clem or not in the quarterfinals. Didn't really get to talk to him about it too much. But what we do know is that he's obviously one of the top tier favorites to win the entire tournament. It's BASILISK Serral. They didn't tell me Cobblestone. But yeah, I assume that it is Neo-Humanity. And then I guess Clem vetoed Altitude. Unless Clem pulled a quick one on us and vetoed Ancient Sisterin, which obviously forces him to play on Altitude. But maybe he has listened to a couple of the Serral interviews, where Serral has been pretty vocal about the fact that he doesn't love Altitude as much as he should. And that he really enjoys Ancient more. But we'll just keep an eye on it. Thank you, Pave Matey, for the 56 months and the tier 3 as well, Legend. Corson with the Prime and Jimmy Jump Josh with the 28. Clem also enjoys Ancient. How much can you really enjoy Ancient as a TVZ player though? Kappa says Serral vetoed Grasvan, Clem vetoed Altitude. Okay. Alright. I believe it. Huh? It is absolutely insane video gaming, mate. We're only 27 minutes in, but it's already been absolutely crazy video gaming. I mean, we saw Serral lose his first map. Those were some hot steamy Marines. Those Marines were just slapping. They knew what's up. Another very early Roach one, but this one, guys, is even a whole lot earlier than the other one. And that almost gives me the idea that is this the same build that Lambo did against Clem on Grasvan a little while ago that I casted. I don't know if this is that build, but I kind of have the feeling that it's this exact build. No, he's already building more drones, so it's not. Never mind. I take it back. So Serral had a Roach one and he cancelled it. Does Serral think, is it just because the gas got scouted or? Not exactly sure that's about. Is it Clem fake 3RX because there is no CC yet? Alright, well, if he tried to fake it, it worked because Serral definitely felt that he needed a Roach Warren at first and then he decided against it. Fires up the lair the moment that these Reapers leave. Reapers do not quite get the confirmation scout off just yet. Marine kills the Overlord, triple CC against a 2-based lair. Man, this just feels really good for Clem. This honestly just feels really good for Clem once more. I also think it's funny that we are now rebuilding the Roach one that we cancelled 45 seconds ago. I have a hard time believing that like the money you got back from cancelling that Roach one and then the drone mining for a little bit has now made up for it. If so, it's barely, right? Oh. I absolutely love this start for Clem as one of the queens is very low in HP. The Reaper is ambitious. Oh! This time around it's Yona. Clem is angry. Clem really wants it. Clem gets it. Can he? No drones. Pull the drones. No. Wait. Can we corner it with the queens? Yes, we can corner it. So an extra Reaper in the end dies. I mean, Clem can be very happy that he at least killed that queen. Otherwise, he'd be absolutely fuming. Queens have moved. This Reaper is now going to go for that low HP drone, but it gets moved away. Can he get that one? Nope. Good save by Yona. I don't know, though. It is 46 drones. That obviously looks alrighty. I've just never been a believer of the Roach, I'll be honest. But let's just see where this goes. It's obviously completely playable. But build order-wise, I like it a lot more for Clem than I like it for Serral. But we'll see. Yeah, no, it became personal between Clem and that queen. He said, whatever I do in this game, but I'm gonna get that queen. It's It's also really nice where if you have such a close call between a Reaper and a Queen, and then the Queen wins, if you're Serral, you're like, oh, yes. And then that happiness gets taken away immediately by the second Reaper hopping in and still killing that Queen. Like, it's a good way to just take away the happiness of your opponent immediately. Roach count at the moment is 8. Queen count is 3, guys. If Serral keeps on making drones, do we already need to worry about these Marines and the 2 medevacs? Because I'm kind of worried. Unless Serral is going to fire up a few more roaches, I don't know if 8 roaches and 3 queens is even enough. Oh no, I think this is really bad for Yona. Okay, at least the roaches are in the right position. So a couple of them move their way. Here we go. We are going to battle. But yeah, having the units in position is big. Well done, Yona. Because if all of those Marines were unloaded, they fire stim and they can actually battle 2 or 3 roaches first, it would have been scary. Man, he's building more calls. And it is the correct call. Honestly felt a little crazy and scary to me. But it's working out so far. Serral's going to go for kind of the exact same stuff. That's obviously going to come as less of a surprise. Roaches with tunneling claws and burrow. We're going to get a drop lord as well. Queen is going to get picked off. Cancel on that center hatchery. Man, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, guys, but I'm just not feeling it for Serral at all. Please tell me that I'm wrong. Please tell me that the great Yona Satala knows what he's doing. We are going to get a drop lord. I really hope that Serral can prove me wrong here, guys, because I'm just not really feeling it. He is the GOAT. That is absolutely correct. I will agree with you on that. You're wrong, X 100,000. Give it to me, baby. Tank count, guys, already at 3. This one drop load is obviously going to be very important. Serral does not have any vision in the top right side. Units a little bit out of position. A couple of drones are going to fall. And instead it's going to be a queen. Serral down to 3 queens. 7 minutes, 20 seconds into the game. Well, we're going to have a drop lord. This obviously is a big moment, guys. Serral's going to be aggressive. And I don't want to call it an all-in because it's so dramatic. He is building a few drones, but it is so important that this attack is going to do well for Yona. Because if it doesn't, he is not just in a bit of trouble, but he is in all sorts of buttloads of trouble. We've got tanks on the high ground. The Marines have unloaded. This tank is very well positioned. 2 SCVs is nothing. This is where Maynard comes in, guys, taking a little break from casting Doom. 2 SCVs, that's nothing! One of the roaches did survive, so I guess that's kind of nice. Maybe one of these tanks is finally gonna get picked off. There was a bit of repair coming in, but in the end that's not good enough. But I'm just like, it's not even close to working. Now, of course, we are gonna maybe get a hive tag soon. It's 8 minutes, 20 seconds, so it's a little bit quicker than before. There was that one leftover roach from before. It feels bad, man. Rainer, are you still here? I would love to hear the verdict. I promise I won't make fun of you for predicting against Roddy in game 1 and being wrong. To me, this looks incredibly rough for Yona. I assume that Rainer is still here. There's no way he's not watching Clem against Serral. Rainer said, I don't hate it for Yona. Oh my god, now I'm gonna have to make fun of you again. What's wrong with this Rainer kid, guys? Nah, just kidding. I appreciate the opinion, mate. I don't see it. I hope you're right. Let's hope that I'm wrong, guys. He does indeed have a couple of infestors out. Literally a couple. It is 2 infestors. He's up a little bit in supply, but obviously all of it is in roaches. The creep is a tiny bit underwhelming. Do we have units in the right position to keep our main base safe? Yes, we only have 3 queens. So there is a severe lack of anti-air. I'm glad that you're still hopeful, mate. Because for me it's all legitimately all doom and gloom. Where I actually think that I almost don't see a way for Serral to win. So I'm glad that you're a little more positive than I am. And that's going to get me at least still very excited of this game. Fungo is good. That is a sexy Fungo. But he loses the Infested though. You know, this wasn't even that good for Serral, guys, because he lost an Infested. The other one has no energy and he didn't really get that many kills. It's a proper roach run by. Roaches in the natural, roaches in the main base. This looks a lot more promising, especially because Clem, what are we doing here, Clem? All of the tanks are on siege. Clem, why don't you just defend the roaches? Okay, I'm not sure what Clem is doing right now. He still has a lot of units on the left side just chilling. He's gonna try to clean up all these roaches. It feels that it would benefit Clem if he would slow things down a tiny bit. Oh, those tanks though. Those tanks were getting a couple of very fat, juicy shots off. Serral is still in the main, in the natural. Not a whole lot is gonna get one of the tanks there. That's kind of cute. Obviously, this base is important. Don't forget about all these units, guys. They haven't participated in the fights in a while. Serral's up 20 army supply, but he needs to get on top of these tanks. And he's gonna try to do it here, but he's kind of giving the heads up that this is coming. Okay, I think maybe if Serral gets all these tanks, that's a big play, guys. These roaches with Thunderling Claws are going to unbarrel. Are there any bio units to save it? One tank went down, second tank goes down, third tank falls. One tank survives though, very low HP in the back. And don't forget about these guys with a gun that are still battling in the natural. That roach run by the way, has been absolute killer. Serral does a very good job in immediately splitting the roaches up. Wasn't too bad on Jona's side, guys. That could have all gone a whole lot worse than what it ended up going. 19 SCVs, keeping that base safe in the middle. Obviously, this one is far from over, but I think overall Serral did quite good there. That's so annoying, eh? Poor Clem. As Clem is going to unbarrel a few more roaches, gets 2 tanks immediately. But if there is one more scan available, he's going to lose all of these. Not bad, right? 2 tanks, couple of roaches. And obviously, Serral's buying some time for those high attack units. 6 dropper lords. That feels crazy to me. That feels crazy to me because I don't think we're all that rich. I find this a wild play. But okay. Yona is wilding here, man. He has seismic spines. Yona has big investment though, guys, because Serral really isn't all that rich. So to go for that many dropper lords, but hey, if everything can make it into the main base, there isn't too much protecting the production right now, so that would be an insane play. If it works, 10 out of 10 play. Widow mine, got it, obviously already fired at those 2 links. Wait. We have a Viking. We have a Viking, guys. Top Gun. It's Tom Cruise over here. And this roar is even more impressive than the one that he performed in Maverick. Because this is a very big moment, Claymore. You gotta be paying attention right now. Are you watching? Are you watching? Clem is going to watch, right? Yep, he's going to send a lot of units over. I don't know if Yona has to go for this right now. Clem is still dropping. This can honestly backfire. It's a brilliant call. It's a terrible call. Okay, at least we have a couple of lurkers. Lurkers in a good spot. Hard for Marines to steam into lurkers, but Clem does do a very good job in spreading his units. He loses a lot of buy units, but at least he gets a lot of the lurkers. Did cost him a shit ton of supply though at the same time. Serral is actually entering the triangle as well. So in the end, this play was kind of brilliant. Because Clem is just bleeding out a lot of supply everywhere. And just like that, it is the great Yona Satala, guys, who ties things up. Man, what a play. Honestly felt so risky, but it worked out. It's a couple of links, guys. Unupgraded links. 0-0 links getting on top of all these tanks. Big moves. Big moves. Big game. Rainer saw it. He believed. Let's go. Rainer was right, huh? Yes, he was. Well, I think it was a close game. But I'm glad that he was happy. And at least we're all tied up. And that's obviously everything that we want to see. I love how Rainer is the GOAT for completely miscalling game 1. And then because he's somewhat right in game 2, he's now the GOAT. You guys. Bunch of dirty fanboys. It's 1-1 in predictions, okay? Just saw what is printed on your cup. This is actually this was a gift from Rainer. This is what Rainer gifted to me. Yeah, Rainer is the 50-50 guy, so it only makes sense that he guessed game 2 correctly. No, I'm happy that it went that way. I was legitimately very concerned. But kudos to Yona for finding a way. And also kudos to go for a play like that when you don't really have that big of a bank to send 6 dropper lords into the main. Could have honestly backfired because even a single Viking is obviously good enough to kill those dropper lords in the end. And if those would have been cornered, you throw away a lot of lurkers and that could have been very painful. So what is the prediction for game 3? I mean, we're just gonna watch the game together and see if we see eye to eye or not. Cuckoo, did you on purpose change your color in my channel? I'm not used to seeing your name in the red. It does look good with the red and white R, so it looks sexy, but I'm not used to this being you. Did you do this, or did it just randomly happen? I don't even know what your old color was, but I'm not used to the red name. You did? It's kind of cool, but it's a bit different. Was it green? No, I think it looks nice, mate. It looks nice. It matches the badge a little, so it's cool. Alright guys, we're all tied up. Opening quarterfinals of the day. Masters Coliseum. We had to wait over a week to continue this tournament. It's a very big online tournament. If you guys have any questions about it, obviously feel free to ask me. I'll do my best to answer them in a serious way. I know I was trolling before the broadcast started. Now I'm kind of serious.
Round 3. Fight!
In the bottom left side of Royal Blood, we are looking at the main base of the man from BASILISK, tying things up, the great Jonas Sotala, Serral. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of the guy that everyone is talking about for all the right reasons, the one and only, reigning, defending, undisputed European weekly champion of the world.
Liquid Clem.
And I don't care what anybody else says, guys, but that is the greatest achievement on the planet. You defeat Max Pax in the grand finals of the weekly. That's way harder than winning BlizzCon in 2015, I'll tell you guys that much. What a statement. I stand by it. Who won 2015? As the West did. As the West actually won 2015. Grand finals against Live. Live went for, I think, a 6 pool. And after that didn't really work, he followed it up with a Baneling bust. Cross map, Iron Fortress. 4-3. Epic best of 7 though. Bit of a shitty final game. 2016 was Beyond Against Dark, that's correct. And then in 2017, it must have been Rogue who won, but don't ask me who he beat in the final. Maybe, did he beat MMA? No, that was earlier, right? No, it was way earlier. MMA was like 2014 or something. Oh, Rogue beat Sue, okay, yeah. Rogue beat Sue, and then obviously 2018 was Yona. 2019 was Dark, and that is the last BlizzCon we ever had. That's how you win tournaments, by beating Sue. Did you guys see that Sue was playing in the WTL Code A qualifiers? Sue went 1-1 with Anticore, a Danish Dark player, who's rocking a stunning 5000 MMR on the ladder. What is it with Sue and I mean, I love Anticore. He seems like a very nice guy, but it's quite something. If it's not Zhuge Liang in Nation Wars, it's Anticore in WTL. Once more, guys, a very, very, very early Roach Warrant. This time around, it's obviously not, well, it is. What am I looking at? Oh my goodness, there was another barracks in the middle of the main base. While we were joking about history and BlizzCon, Serral is in serious trouble here, guys. It's 3. Ooh, does he kill one of the Reapers? Gets his second Reaper. That's about as good as I think Yona could ever do here, guys. But obviously, he's not out of the woods just yet. He is opening up with basically a gasless style. We're going to have gas to build a couple of roaches, but we're not going to have link speed. That was really big. Serral killing those 2 Reapers, guys, that was very, very big. Otherwise, things could have snowballed like no tomorrow. With that 3rd barracks being proxied. We're not quite done yet. Obviously, Clem wants more. Clem feels that there is a lot more to gain here. First few drones are falling. Slow Zerglings can only really buy time. Another queen dies. Second queen dies. It's 5 roaches on the way, so I don't want to call that it's game over, because I don't think it's game over. Losing other queens is painful. But Yona can thank the Lord, so basically thank himself, that he did manage to kill 3 Reapers. Killing 3 Reapers without Zergling speed, as maybe impressive as it looked what Clem was doing there. Maybe Clem a tiny bit nervous, right? Tiny bit greedy. Because Clem is not really supposed to lose Reapers there. Marauders as a follow-up. Now that's a follow-up, guys. Well, it might actually be a good call, because Serral's building nothing but roaches. Is he gonna go for like a slow Roach Ravager attack? Are we gonna get some bunkers then? It's so hard to move out, though, for Yona. Yona's now making links, but he's obviously going to be slow circling, so I'm a tiny bit confused about the links. Serral is all-inning, right? Can we say that? 28 drones? That many units? I think we can absolutely say that Serral is all-inning. He is going to flank these Reapers, but now he's obviously going to reveal that he has this amount of units. Clem needs some bunkers, no? This really feels that 2 bunkers in your natural and you're absolutely cooking. Reapers can still buy some time. It's not going to be an easy hold for Clem, especially not because he's getting a reactor. Uh-oh. The thing is that bunkers are fantastic against roaches, but they're not very good against ravagers. Do we have concussive shells? This time around we do. In the early game moments, that's so many marauders, though. That's so many marauders, but I don't know. Ravagers is scary. Ooh, that's -2 marauders already. But actually, nice target fire there by Yona as he tried to get the third one too in the back. Can he get that bunker immediately? He's not going for the bunker. Banshee on the way is obviously a very sexy play. I like that Banshee. More Zerglings, guys. More Zerglings. What do we make of this? Serral is building 10 slow Zerglings on his own side of the map. Is that like, okay, it's better to just have something than nothing? But what the hell are slow Zerglings ever going to do? It's 59 army supply for Yona, but I think he's kind of dead. I don't want to be that guy, but I think he's dead. Okay, he does get the bunker. That's going to give me some hope. But the Banshee is here, and the Banshee is going to cause a world of pain. Buy unit obviously cannot stand in the middle of corrosive ball. He's going to try to gun down all the barracks, but the Banshee is just invincible, no? I think Clem can lose, like... So it's slow Zerglings. It's way more slow Zerglings. He's trying to win the game with slow Zerglings just because he thinks maybe he has taken out all the production facilities. There is a lot of roaches in the main base. Of course, the roaches will die. I still think this is going to be a hold for Clem, but Serral is really trying to do at least as much damage as possible. I think he's done a very good job in that. Man, what a build. What a game. There are still 22 slow Zerglings out on the map, making their way into the natural. I have never seen this, guys. This is Serral against Clem. And 7 minutes into the game, we have the slow Zergling attack. I watched a lot of StarCraft, but I am not familiar with this one. I think Clem is still ahead. I agree. But Yona did do a decent amount of damage there. And I guess the silver lining is, though, guys, there is no stim yet. One of the barracks has died. There's no stim yet. It's just very strange. This is actually where we need to call in the reinforcements. This is where we need Rainer. I like it for United. Okay. Never mind. I don't want to call Rainer. I want to call Bly. Bly? Bly has been stopping by in the Twitch channel quite a bit lately. I kind of like the call of the Nidus. We have 2 queens. Is that enough, though? I mean, I guess if it will ever only be single Banshee. What a moment, guys. Is it best of 5? Yes, it is going to be best of 5. Yona is going to put all of his eggs in this one basket. The Nidus. Will it go up in the corner of the main? Clem has no vision of the corner of his main. And Clem will be absolutely kicking himself if the Nidus is what is going to determine the outcome of this game. The Banshee's on the other side of the map. This could work, man. Oh, Clem! He sees it! Clem sends 1 Marine, but I think it's too late to actually kill the Nidus. Now, at least you have some time to get ready. He unsieges the tank. Okay, I mean, obviously it's too late to deny it. But at least he was able to get mentally ready for it. There is 1 tank. They're already getting a couple of big shots off. Slow roaches, slow Zerglings, Ravagers by themselves. One of the tanks has died. The other tank is going to siege up. The tank shots are big. Citizens arrest on the Queen. And that obviously means that this Banshee can just make justice rain from above. You cannot lose the Banshee though, Clem. You cannot lose your Banshee. Clem is now down 11 workers, but I still think that's manageable. He's about to get stimmed, but he's got only 5 Marines, 1 Marauder. It will all come down to that Banshee. It all comes down to the Banshee. I still think it looks good for Clem as he snipes another Ravager. There is micro potential for days on the side of Clem. And Serral, his units, they just feel so clumsy. Oh, can he get that Banshee? He almost got it, but he doesn't quite have it yet. There is a Widowmine in the mix. I don't think it's good enough for Yona, guys. It was a great effort, a valiant effort, and it got awfully close. But I still don't think this is good enough for Serral. Wow, what a bizarre game between these two. Exciting. I have seen stuff that I have never seen before. This Nidus is nothing. I think it's super over now though, guys. It is, I think this is super over. This is not gonna go anywhere. Steam is done. Banshee full HP, 0 queens. It's over. It's been a lot of fun. Super exciting. Serral got all fully close to making it happen after obviously not necessarily being aware of the triple Rex Reaper opening in the beginning. I think at this point it's an unfair fight. How many kills did the Banshee have? Why did you guys play the guessing game? How many kills are there on this Banshee once the game ends? Okay, once the game ends. Not now. But how many kills? Oh, don't lose the Banshee! We'll never know! I think the Banshee is gonna end the game with 32 kills. It's a little bit high, but there were a couple of slow Zerglings in there. I'm gonna say 32. The Banshee ends the game with 32 kills. Oh. Okay, I'll click on it now. It's 25 at the moment. We are at 25 kills at the moment. Can the Banshee rack up 7 more kills? This is very sad, by the way, guys. I cannot hype this up. The Roach Ravager army really sucks. Serral has built more slow Zerglings in this game than I've ever seen him build in his entire career. This will be forever the slow Zergling game. Banshee gets another kill, baby. Banshee, no! Oh, it's 4 HP Banshee. It's okay. Marine's gonna sim forward. Obviously, it's an unfair fight. 27 kills will be the end of the Banshee as this game has officially been wrapped up. What a bizarre game. Clem takes the 2-1 lead. We opened up with triple Rex Reaper. Lost a couple Reapers, killed a couple Queens. Serral went for the counterattack, did a lot of damage, couldn't quite kill Clem. Follows it up with the Nidus, does even more damage. So close to winning. But in the end, man, that SCV surround, guys. That SCV surround on the Queens, I actually think was incredibly big. Because imagine if the Queens would have been able to get in range of the Banshee and kill it. Obviously, Clem cannot micro tanks, SCVs, Marines, and Banshees at the same time. So if the SCVs didn't have that little surround on the Queen, there is a chance the Queen would have killed the Banshee. Yeah, also the scout on the Nidus was obviously very lovely. But it was slightly too late, right? Because he had a tank siege up. Then he unsieged everything, but he's like, oh, never mind, it's too late. So then he had to siege up again. But yeah, just to get mentally ready. To give yourself those 3, 4, 5 seconds to at least get ready for what's coming. Yeah, that's so much better than just macroing and like, ah, Nidus sounds goes up. And you're terrified. This was definitely so far not the best of 5 that I thought we were going to see. But I'm not hating it. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I feel like it's all over the place. But it's funny. Would it have been better to just build the 3rd base and drone up after defending the Reapers? I mean, obviously, since he didn't win with the attack, the easy answer is yes, but I don't know. It's hard for me to say. I didn't think it was that bad initially because, yes, he's been losing Queens, but he did actually get a couple of the Reapers. But it would have been very hard to go up to 3 bases and whatnot. I thought it was an interesting call. Interesting decision. Well, Mr. Roddy, who do you think takes his best of 5? Well, my initial prediction was Serral. I said that before the best of 5 started, I thought there was a 64% chance that Serral wins this series. So I thought it was close, competitive, but I gave Serral a tiny advantage. It's not over yet though, guys. Game 4 is going to be played on Ancient Sistren. What about now? I stick with the 64, mate. Come on. Have I ever been a guy that changes his opinions in the middle of something? If I'm wrong, I'm going down with this ship, baby. There's no shame in being wrong, guys. I made a career out of being wrong. It pays well. You guys should try it. It's really sick.
Round 4. Fight.
That's just me making fun of myself. I actually think that I'm not wrong that often. I'm very good, but it's not sexy to say that you're very good. And people are like, he's got such a big ego. So it's more fun to joke about how I'm wrong. Or actually, I think I'm right all the fucking time. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man who's down 1-2, but we have loaded into Ancient. This is Basilisk Serral. In the top right side of Ancient, we are looking at the main base of the guy that everyone is talking about. The one, the only.
Liquid Clem.
That's why I'm a Feyenoord fan. I mean, being a Feyenoord fan is definitely a lifelong of pain. But the last 2 years, they've honestly been surprisingly fun. Conference League final. We won the KNVB Baker, right? In that season, didn't we? And obviously we won the league last year. Now we're going to play Champions League. So I cannot complain. As a Feyenoord fan right now, life is glorious. I really want to have a beer with Andre, actually. My good mate Andre from Amsterdam. Big Ajax fan. I wonder how he's feeling. If he's excited for the upcoming season. If he's loving that squad. Okay, so we just made finals of the Conference League. Yeah, that's right, because it was PSV Ajax 2 years in a row, right? In the KNVB. I mean, finals of a European tournament was still a fun ride. We had a good trippy. So, opening up a little bit different, guys. And I'm kind of happy to see it. I feel like you're either a Roach boy or you're not. If I was a Zerg player, I would definitely not be a Roach boy. I don't think that Serral has ever truly been a Roach boy. Can he get it down? No, he cannot get it down. And now he's actually going to lose the drone, though. So, rough start. Nope, nowhere to go. Poor drone. That's like straight out of a nightmare when you're a kid. You're like, oh, I have to run somewhere, but then you can't. And then the ground is starting to suck you in, and the tiger is coming, and trying to scream, and you can't make a noise. Just me, guys. I've had that dream so many times. It's terrifying. Poor drone was stuck. But at least Serral was very quick to send out another drone. And now he's got the setup at the triangle. I am the biggest Lazio fan too. Are you actually a Lazio fan, Dr. Rossi? I did not know. For some reason I thought you were a Roma fan. So I guess I have to apologize. Are you excited for Lazio Feyenoord, amigo? If you can get some tickets for me for Stadio Olimpico, if you can promise me you get a ticket, I'll show up in Rome. I've never been to Rome. We can go to the game together. Just don't tell the Lazio diehards that I'm from Rotterdam, okay? Thank you, Ayusi, for the 7 months. Clem knows Yona as a triangle hater. Overall, it just feels that Clem has played an excellent series, but obviously Ancient is a really good Zerg map. I'm not too concerned yet. But I think Clem, it just kind of feels momentum is on his side today. If he gets this run, it's like the little things, right? But on this level, it's often the little tiny details that make all the difference. The loser of this series plays against Lambo? Or am I making that up, guys? You live in Germany. Oh, okay. So you're a fake Lazio fan. Next to the Austrian border. Better to be a Lazio fan than to be a Bayern Munich fan, mate. So. Next to Salzburg. Was er maar een manier om dat op te zoeken? I'm not sure what I said, Geert. I'm gonna go to a couple of the games, Geert. I really don't care. I've got enough friends that watch the stream. I already sent a DM to Roscoe to get me some tickets for the Celtic game. It's gonna be fine. Roddy's gonna go on some trippies, guys. Well deserved. I've worked hard enough over the last few months. Too many fucking hours. My throat hurts every single day because of the amount of casting I've done. I actually feel like how Husky felt all those years ago. Except that Husky made one YouTube video. And I do 9 hours a day. Celtics. Roscoe is a Ranger fan. Now, Roscoe is a fan of a smaller team. But he said he does have a lot of mates that support Celtic. And he's going to do my best. If you want to go to the game, Coco, we can make it happen. Alright, I'm going to focus a little bit on game 4 between Clem and Serral. Obviously, mostly been macro so far. We had 2 drones and an overlord going down. But this is where the game gets a little more fun. A stim is done. Queens are battling on the edge of creep. Oh, Yona definitely not making any slip-ups just yet. Started +1 melee, cancelled it. Starts +1 carapace instead. But he obviously has double Evo. We already had Roddy with blonde hair, guys, don't worry. I've gone through that phase. And I gotta say, I think I was a sexy young man with blonde hair. I'll show you guys the pictures. By the time we enter our second best of 5, I'll show you guys a picture of little Roddy with blonde hair. I was very handsome. We have the queen flank. Lings on the left side, queens on the right, but Clem is aware of it. 7 banelings morphing for Yona. I think we weathered this storm perfectly fine. On the side of Team Yona, he's spreading creep. What do we, by the way, make of the build of Clem that he only goes just double Hellion? So we'll go double Hellion just straight into Stim Bio. I kind of like that, to be honest. I don't think you always need to play multiple Hellions into a Banshee or a Raven or a Lip. It's kind of a cool build, I guess. Little Ruddy? Yeah, no, I was tiny. I was 15, I think, when I bleached my hair. I'll show you guys the picture by the time we enter the second best of 5, but Serral needs to be very careful here. Obviously, this is a painful moment where the Marines have +1. Serral does not have any upgrades yet on his Lings and Banes. The tanks are on siege. Maybe this is the moment. Queens are doing their thing. They're tanking Banelings on creep. Oh, Yona, why didn't he go? Why didn't he go, guys? He had the flank ready. He's still going to go for it, but a little bit later. And now Clemens is going to pick up all these units. The Hellions show up in the back. Sure, at least the tanks went down, but I feel that Serral lost a little more there than what he was supposed to lose, and we cannot just ignore the fact how low on HP this hatchery is. Clem is not done yet. I don't know if Rainer is willing to give his opinion one more time, but I'm not feeling it for Yona. But I also wasn't feeling it on Dragon Skills, and he won that one, so don't worry if you're a Serral fan, but I think things are looking really good for Clem. Clem is just playing an ultra sexy best of 5. One of the better best of 5s we've seen him play in TVZ in quite some time. I mean, that hatch is kind of a sitting duck now. If you ignore it, it's going to die, but if you overly defend it, then you're obviously going to be very weak elsewhere. Rainer says that Serral looks dead. Well, guys, let's hope that Rainer gets it wrong. We have a Widowmine in the mix. What a good Widowmine shot. A couple of Banelings do manage to break through the cracks. And it seems that Serral got a good defense over here on the left side as well. I think it's time for my weekly Burrow speech, guys. I kind of think that the great equalizer here would be Burrow. I'm sorry, Rainer. Don't follow me. Rainer malts every single time I talk about Burrow in this matchup. But to be fair, Rainer found so much success with the Burrow Banelings at Game as 8 that I think I was onto something. At least Hive is done, and we're gonna fire up Adrenal Glands immediately on Serral's side. Tiny Widowmine drop here, I believe. Yeah, Drilling Claw's not quite done yet. We are having a battle, but Clem is very quick with the pickup. These Widowmines are scary. There's a couple of Banelings here. Yona sending over just a few Lings and Banes at first. This is so hard, man. Clem is still dropping, guys. At that 9 o'clock base as well. Serral needs to find a victory somewhere. There's one Widowmine in the back that hasn't fired yet. Very tiny shot. Great job there by Serral, limiting the damage. And it seems that we kept the hatchery savior as well. Man, this is impressive defense. Absolutely very, very impressive defense by Yona. A little more of that and the man is cooking. Not a good Baneling connection there. Funny that Clem just lost that many units right before Drilling Claws and 2 upgrades. Ooh, the Unburrow. The Unburrow! He's gonna Unburrow again. Alright, good job there, limiting the damage. Whoa, that's risky, Yona. Oh, that's super sexy, Yona. Well done. Single circling, guys. Single circling. That hold position micro there. Well done, but obviously Clem is not done yet. That was just a little tease. Tiny bit of harassment. This Widowmine shot actually does a tiny bit of friendly fire. There's more Widowmines in the back, and it's so hard as a Zerg to run into this many Widowmines. But the Baneling's doing a good job there, and at least cleaning up a couple. There are 100 Zerglings on the map, guys. 100 Zerglings. We're going to drop a parasitic bomb. Whoa, those medevacs are very low on HP. Another Paro bomb would be devastating. How many Banelings do we have left? 21 Banelings and 10 more are morphing. There is a Widowmine in the mix here, wondering if to shoot. And the micro by these guys, the counter micro. There's a big counter attack on the side of Serral. Obviously, these Lings are feisty. Doors are wide open. This counter attack can hurt, guys. Yona running some Banelings forward. Good Widowmine shot, though. Oh, the Liberator's dealing a lot of damage. There's more Widowmine. Serral! know? Do we know what we're doing? I'm not totally certain. How the hell did Clem not take more damage here, by the way? There were so many Zerglings, guys. I don't understand. Clem has not lost a single SCV. The door. Oh, Parabomb. Parabomb, but the snipe. No, Parabomb. Okay, good job, Clem. That could have been devastating, but Clem was very quick to split that off. Serral's still here, though, connecting with a few of these Marines, but at the same time, that low HP hatchery, this could finally be the moment that it's going to get picked off. A couple of Widow Mines leading the charge. We have a Liberator sieging up as well. That's so many Zerglings, by the way. 105 Zerglings out on the map. But it kind of feels that all that Clem needs to do is just spam Widow Mines. Against this style, you can literally go up to like 16, 20 miles and just scatter them all across the map. Defensively, offensively, with your army. And then it's so difficult for the mass link player to get a good fight. But kudos to Yona for really making a game out of this. It looked incredibly dire. It still looks pretty dire. But you can't say that he's not trying and that he's not battling. A single Widow Mine could kill some medevacs, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I saw that coming from a mile away. Unfortunately, they were kind of low on cargo. So not too many Terra units died there. But hey, that's sick though for Yona. That was very sick. Almost the Stefano against 4 GG Widow Mines. Serral still dead. We're battling. I don't think Serral's winning. I think Serral's still in trouble. He's just on the ropes. But can he pull a rope-a-dope? Perhaps. Definitely under a lot of pressure. Serral's in the kind of position where if he takes one really bad fight against Widow Mines, the game just ends. But so far, he's not taking these bad fights. That was a big Widow Mine shot though, towards the bottom. And I do think we have to give up on chasing here. Clem has a couple of units. The never-ending battle over this hatchery. 20 years from now, we're gonna write children's books about this hatchery. The Battle of New Gettysburg, but then on Ancient History. And 2 bullets are gonna connect with each other, but then we realize that it's fake. Oh my goodness. I'm not ready. Tabos 3 says it's very even. Oh no. When you're telling me that it's even, I'm getting ready to shout GG. Don't do that to me. If only we had Burrow. The little hatchery, that's it. Another Parabomb would obviously be kind of cool, even though Clem has done a very good job in splitting them up. What is the army right now of Yona? 68 lings and 33. Is that 33 Bailings I see over there? Can't help myself, guys. If Max keeps on breaking records, one goat inspiring the next goat, that is Yona, to make 33 Banelings. We gotta play the sound clip. We do have lurkers, guys, on the way. Well, we actually have 2 lurkers on the battlefield, but these are not sexy lurkers yet. They don't have either of their upgrades. Man, Clem's so good in the splitting of the medevacs. I know it's a bit easier with medevacs than it is with Phoenix, but I'm still impressed. Scary army here, a couple of Widow Mines burrow, but only 1 out of the 3 Widow Mines fires. Maybe 2 out of 3, actually, in the end. Ooh, careful! If that Widow Mine does friendly fire, you could lose all your ghosts. Oh, but it's a good Widow Mine shot. That was risky, by the way, picking up 4 ghosts in a medevac that could die to a single Widow Mine hit. Great game between these two. Yona definitely battling. The little hatchery that could is still going. This is one of these games, by the way, where we can lose record amount of Zerglings. There's 4 Widow Mines here. Will one of them shoot? Oh, good job there, obviously, by Serral, but I maybe think that Clem could have gone for a tiny bit of that retarget that he's known for. Now the planetary gets blown up. So Yona deals a bit of economic damage for the first time in a very long time. Yeah, I was already thinking of that, Chuck. But let's guess how many Zerglings have died 16 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. But that could be cheaters, right? Some people could be watching the other stream and then they reveal it. I feel like it's definitely a lot of Zerglings. And we are not done yet. Pew pew. Clem says you take out my bottom right base, I'm gonna take out your top left base. 20 seconds left, guys, in the how many Zerglings have died guessing game. There's no prize yet, but later today I'll put on prize on the line. So pay attention. I'm gonna give away the WCS cards. I forgot yesterday, I'm sorry. God, he's a scammer. Nice Widow Mine hit there. Vipers die. I don't know about this attack for Yona. This is far off creep. 60 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm gonna go with 680 links. 569 is the winning answer. 569. Oh, you were very close, Stormguard Warrior. You were off only 4 Zerglings. 14, sorry, I can't count. But obviously, we are not done yet. We have more Zerglings trying to run into the natural. Ghost getting surrounded. Overseer in the mix. Nice one by man. -2 Ghost. Very good value. And look at that, guys. Burrow is done. Burrow is done. I love it. I've been waiting for this. What a game. And this hatch. We have been battling over this hatch since minute 8, 9. Ooh, painful. This is very sick coverage, by the way. What a little setup here for Clem. 2 Widowmines and 2 Liberators. Creating a bit of a meat grinder. Is that then finally the end of the hatchery? Yes, indeed. Advanced Ballistics finished up as well. Thank you for letting me know, because that is a big upgrade. It's bigger in the other matchup, but it's still big here too. Oh, libs are hard. Libs are hard to deal with. That's a lot of Widowmines going down. We are going to use a couple of Abducts, but the Hydra count is very underwhelming, and this was not it for Yona and the little hatchery that can no longer. F's in the chat for our hatch. Just when I started to get a little bit of hope for Yona, that attack wasn't it. He lost a lot. Serral in trouble here, guys. 1 map away from dropping to the lower bracket in the Masters Coliseum 6, this massive online tournament. Where the first place is close to $17,000. Obviously, Serral can still win it. Even if Serral loses this best of 5, he can still win the tournament. But this best of 5, it seems like it's going to get very, very dire. But we do land a great fungal. It wouldn't be Serral if he can't land a great fungal. But he couldn't drop the Parabomb because the EMPs went off on the Vipers. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Otherwise, he maybe would have been able to catch everything. I think there's a Liberator killing a lot of drones in the bottom right side. Bio units ready to stim in. Serral is still battling though. He will refuse to go down without a fight. I love this little setup by Clem, man. What the hell? That's so cool. Just a couple of lips, couple of Widowmines, kind of zoning out these top 2 left bases. Like, how cool of a play is that? I absolutely love it. A couple of Widowmines in the mix, looking for them big shots. More Ghosts getting picked off. At least the Hydras are getting a few of the Liberators. It just feels that Clem's army is a bit better. Eh? Better, it's stronger. And as a Zerg player to play this tower, I feel like you need to have the overwhelming economy. Another hatchery is very low on HP, and if this hatch dies, which of the bases really has a lot of mining left? The center one and the bottom right base, obviously. So I was going to try to run into these lips, and hey, it's kind of working. Gets a little surrounded as well, but what a pickup there by Clem, guys. In all this craziness, still picking up a few ghosts inside of the medevac, dropping it back into safety near the planetary fortress. Now he's here again, looking for an EMP on the Vipers. Are we going to get an EMP? Of course we can. I don't think Serral can really keep this up. Serral's going to be forced to give up this base. That's painful, but I still think that's better than losing the game. Taking a little fight with the Broodling support there. But he does not want to continue. He's just too far behind. After losing that base, he can't stay in. Entering this best of 5, guys, Serral had not dropped a map in the very competitive Group A. Clem says, alright mate, well that's fine. But I'm going to go ahead and not just give you your first map loss, but I'm going to take the entire best of 5. Liquid Clemens showing some of that 2021 TVZ greatness as he takes the 3-1 victory. Big win for Clem. A very big win for Clem. He just won the channel points lottery. I think in the end a lot of people started betting on Clem though. So I don't think it's that big, but congrats on your win. I will go ahead and settle that prediction and start our next prediction, guys. Definitely a surprising way to start the day. I didn't think it was going to happen. I knew it could happen, and we saw how freaking good Clem was yesterday night against MaxPax. I know some people are like, oh, it's just MaxPax, but getting that win when being down 0-2 was very impressive. Clem is definitely peaking, but in the end, 39% of you guys believed that Clement could win this best of 5, and he did. So congrats to all the Clem believers out there. Next up, it is Dark versus Beyond best of 5. Dark, Beyond, I will give you guys 10 minutes. Nah, let's do 15. I have the feeling they're going to have a longer break. So another big TVZ. After this TVZ, it's time to get ready for some PvPs. And then we wrap up the day with one last TVZ. I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and grab myself a drink, some water, some coffee, and after that, I'll be back with our second best of 5 of the day. We've got 4 best of 5s in total. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves, having fun, winning some imaginary internet channel points, and just overall having a good Tuesday. See you guys soon.